Now what? Where does it go? It looks like something ate through it. That's not a way out. There, I freed you. Now what?
Now, I finally have legs, and I'm no longer alone.
I meant, how do we get out of here?
We don't. Nobody can escape these walls.
But you said...
Oh, Shahrazad, this is the darkest hole, the likes of which the world has never known. Here, even nothingness means nothing at all. Not even the promise a piece of wood makes to one who is doomed. But let's be friends nonetheless. We could play with the light, or awaken the Guardian, or...
Even if you will not, I will abide by our agreement. I'll find a way out of here, and if you help me, I'll take you with me.
Shahrazad?
And stop calling me Butterfly. I'm not a butterfly, and we're not friends. From now on, you'll do what I say.
What if I won't?
Then I'll toss you into an even deeper hole, where absolutely no one will ever find you again.
As you command, mistress. You're too kind, mistress. Ksh! Move!
The Guardian's limbs have mercilessly crushed him. He's still holding the mask. And Haroon's dagger. You're still alive?
Take the mask away from here.
Calm yourself. Gather your strength.
Mistress, don't you see, he's as good as dead.
Have you no pity?
Do you?
Where should I take the mask?
To Draconia. To the prince.
To the prince? What prince? Galved? Are you still there?
He lies bleeding on the ground, and you pepper him with questions. You truly have no pity, do you?
I do, but pity would not have changed anything.
It would have made you more human.
Says a talking staff.
Entertaining, isn't it?
I've seen better.
Oh, how I envy you.
Hey! Help! I'm locked in here! Help! Rahwan! If you're still alive, show yourself!
The Fakina doesn't seem to like you much, Princess.
He's probably dead.
Or he abandoned you.
Make light.
Direct my spell at a magical source of fire, and your wish shall be my command.
I don't see one.
That's because there aren't any here.
There was a crack of light here somewhere. I can no longer find the crack.
Let there be eternal darkness.
Eternal darkness. You can turn them on again any time.
Mistress, I know I'm no poet, but please, leave my flowery language alone.
I can't get it open any farther with my hands.
The spell doesn't work on that. This was the only stone giant in the hall with a will of his own.
So you weren't able to play your little games with him?
No, I didn't say that.
Wake him.
What should he do, mistress? Let there be light! A grand burial chamber just for you.
We'll see about that. He's dead too. I hope Rahwan at least escaped. It's one of the pieces of the key, but it's lying too far away.
So close, and yet so far.
I still can't reach it. The staff is just long enough.
I'll take that as a compliment.
But in its current form, it's totally useless as a scoop.
What are you doing? I can't see a thing.
I'm wrapping the bandage around your horns.
Whatever for?
You'll find out eventually. Once was enough. Got it.
Do I have to tell you how humiliating that was?
No, I'm perfectly aware. It wouldn't stay there. It's sticky now. It's too narrow to climb through.
The arm lacks the support to strike hard enough. It's holding on tight. Now what?
Order the Guardian to pull down the door. Harder. Make him pull harder.
He can't. The door is too strong for him.
If this one can't do it, then another one will have to.
Ah, Princess, that won't do any good. I've had eons to try and pull down these walls, and I haven't succeeded. Why should a girl achieve so much more in a short time than I did in a millennia? awaken! Accept it finally and give up. The Guardians are much too weak.
The Colossus is also a Guardian, right? Wake him.
Shahrazad, are you really sure?
I said wake him.
As you wish.
Take the Guardian and pull.
What was that?
I tore open a door through pure force of will.
No, you laughed like a young girl.
Hey!
You? You're still alive?
I waited.
You could have helped me.
You have the mask. Where's my money?
Our employer is dead. You'll get your money if you help me get out of here and take me through the mountains to Draconia. Wait. Stop. I'll pay you.
You?
You forget. I'm a princess.
What do you have?
As the daughter of the Caliph, I possess wealth beyond your imagining.
The Caliph is dead. The palace plundered. I was there.
If you take me safely to our destination, you'll receive my most precious possession. My Almandin. It's worth more than anything else you'll ever hold in your hands.
Huh. Good. Draconia for the ruby.
Deal.
He'll make a poor servant to you.
At least I know what to make of him.
May I ask you something else? Because I don't understand you. Why are you doing all this? You're rich, beautiful. You have power. What else do you want to achieve?
I want to go to war, and I need a weapon.
But why?
To win the battle, to be immortalized in history. 1,000 years from now, people will tell tales of my deeds and whisper my name in awe. Sadia al-Kabir, the greatest heroine the world has ever seen.
Sadia al-Kabir? Never heard of her.
Neither you nor anyone else. The poor girl has been utterly forgotten.
How does the story continue?
With the help of the Frakina, Sadia took the mask over the Rashtulian wall to Draconia. She joined the troops there and went to battle. But those are all unimportant details. Don't concern yourself with them. Only one thing matters. The riddle I shall now tell you. The inscription on the burial chamber.
How can the rest of the story not be important?
Well, it is important, but not for you. Trust me. In this one case, ignorance is truly a blessing.
If no one remembers her, how do you know that this woman really existed?
I investigated it myself. Malakar's burial chamber really existed, and over 450 years ago, a young woman was seen climbing out of that very tunnel with a fakina and setting out towards the Rashtulian wall. I swear to you, in the name of my father and all my forefathers, Sadia's tale is a true story.
Do I understand you correctly? The glowing inscription on the burial chamber, that's the riddle?
Quite correct. An archaic inscription written in ancient Talamedia. As an educated Talamede princess, Sadia was the only one who could read it. I created a transcription from my memory, and an old friend translated it for me. It reads, as the stone over the scarab, so rules the scarab over the stone. Enter if to you the answer is known. If not, then forever your life I'll own.
Eerie.
I believe Sadia knew the answer, else she would never have entered the chamber.
But why didn't she tell the others? Didn't she send them all to their doom that way?
I see you paid attention. I give you 3 days to solve the riddle. On the 4th day, I'll move on, whether you know the answer or not.
And if I solve it by then?
You shall have what you want from me. A spell of the mightiest transformation. A spell which transforms any living being into any form you desire.
Deal.
I like you, Geron. I'm certain our business will turn out well for both of us.
Believe me, I hope so too. Strange fellow. Nuri, I'm back. I think I found someone who can help you. Nuri?
I'm here.
What's wrong?
My wound opened. My wing is bleeding again.
Oh no, were you playing with animals again? You're a raven now. You can't do that anymore.
I wasn't playing. It just opened again.
It doesn't look too bad. You lie and rest. I'll make a salve for you. For Nuri's salve of healing, I need to mix ground-up whirlweed with salve fat. Salve fat. I can only pray that the Lady Perina will allow the use of simple grease just this once. Nuri hasn't been a fairy since last winter. I wonder if I could have saved Andergast if I hadn't transformed her.
Don't torture yourself, Geron. Things are as they are.
But they don't have to stay that way.
Oh!
Don't move. If you move, it'll just get worse. I'll hurry with the salve. Did it hurt when the artifact pulled your soul into the raven's body?
I don't know. It was worse before that. My fairy body was wilting away. That was much more painful.
I'm sorry. At that point, I could only save your soul, not your body. I often ask myself whether there wasn't another way after all.
Ho ho, Nuri. I, King Chestnut, bid you good evening.
Good evening, King Chestnut.
Why so sad, my lovely?
I don't know. Right now, I just want to sleep.
Oh, that's a very wise idea. It's so wise that I hereby officially appoint you to be my Minister of Sleep.
Oh, thank you, dear King.
You have earned this title honestly.
Healing herbs from the woods in case Nuri gets injured again.
I don't get injured very often. I'm getting better at being a raven all the time.
It's high time we transform you back. Giacomo's bird bath is very pretty, isn't it? He said he found it in some fairy ruins in the blood barrier.
There are no birds in the fairy world.
Well, there's at least one big peacock.
Right, but that's all. Your world is much more beautiful.
After I finished eating, I wanted to get to Fahi as fast as I could. I didn't have time to clean up. By Travia, it's all greasy. Healing herbs from the woods in case Nuri gets injured again. I need a firm base for grinding up the herb. I can grind up the herb with the knife handle. There. The fabric is falling apart more and more. Well, as soon as I solve Phi's riddle, we'll be out of here. Right, Nuri?
I want to see the world.
But first you need your old body back. The skulls hail back to Gwynling's time.
They're disgusting. Why don't you take them down?
We need to keep up appearances. If anyone notices that I no longer catch birds and live with a talking raven instead, they'll burn us alive.
But you saved them all. You ought to let them know.
The bird catcher a hero? They'll all laugh at me. Anyway, I don't care what those idiots think of me.
But if they thought well of you, your life would be good.
Nuri, my life has been good. It was good to travel with you. It's enough for me that you know what we did. I'll cut out a rag. The rag's now covered in fat. Perina, please let this fat be enough for Nuri's wound. It's all I have. There. And next, we'll make you a fairy again.
Did you meet the man?
Yes, I don't know if I can trust him though. But if Giacomo is right, then soon everything will be like it used to be. You will be as tall as a human again, and together we'll travel across Aventuria and have one adventure after another.
When do you think I'll be able to fly again?
Let's see how your wound is doing tomorrow. Maybe we can go and practice a little.
Fine. Sleep well, Garon.
Sleep well, and don't worry. Soon everything will be as it was. As the stone over the scarab, so rules the scarab over the stone. Enter if to you the answer is known. If not, then forever your life I'll own. And again, this time you can do it.
I don't know.
Don't be discouraged. Think about something nice. Think about... Isn't it a wonderful feeling to have defeated the seer and finally be free?
I don't want to think about it. Those months in the cave were horrible.
I shouldn't have brought it up. Do you remember? Do you remember that dwarf in the Tash Mountains?
The one with the blue beard? He was funny.
And the knight Bogomil Rathling?
The two of them were always arguing.
And the grouchy fisherman? And Isida, the gypsy? I'm sorry, I forgot about Isida. Nuri, you must have one nice memory. Do you remember... Remember the orcs and how I had to distract them? Wasn't that exciting?
They were eating so peacefully. And then you sent them off to war, just to get rid of them.
They were orcs. Orcs are always going off to war. But all right, it's time you become a fairy again. Do you remember how happy and carefree you used to be?
Of course I remember. That makes me even sadder.
Come on, that's enough for today.
Do I have to go back in the cage?
Unfortunately, yes. With a pet raven on my shoulder, the Andergastrians will immediately take me for a warlock again. I'm glad those days are over.
Oh well.
On the way back, let's stop by Fai's tent. He has such a carefree manner. I'm sure he'll raise your spirits.
Garon?
Yes?
I want to be like I was in former times too. But I don't know how. So much has happened.
We'll manage somehow. Nuri's old cave is under there. When her fairy body was destroyed, the cave collapsed as well. Do you miss your old home?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Who are those people?
These statues scare me.
They look like the pillars from Fai's tale, only with faces. Hey there, what's going on?
Brider, I can't work like this.
Master Bodiak?
This man is disturbing my investigation. Talk to him, send him away. I have no time for this sort of thing.
I'm sorry, but the School of Arcane Combat of Andergast has closed off this area until further notice. You should go home.
What happened here?
A mob from the city wanted to chase a travelling merchant out of the country, and this is what became of them. Ta-da! Ancient Tulamid pillars with an Andergastrian core. No trace of the merchant.
He disappeared?
Yep, now shoo. Otherwise the same thing might happen to you too.
Everything's cursed. Fai was our best chance to heal you.
But isn't he evil? Didn't he petrify those people?
Nuri, that was an Andergastrian lynch mob. Had I been able, I would have turned them into stone too. He must have left a trace around here somewhere. I'd better find it before the mages from the School of Arcane Combat do. Otherwise, we'll be right back where we started. There's a hammer peeking out of the bag.
Take your paws off my hammer. From what direction did the attack come?
Are you asking me?
Oh, he's still here. Brider, I expect more martial severity. See to it that he goes away. I can't understand a word this way.
Beat it.
All right.
The spirit must have been petrified
With a
as well.
stone sword and an elaborately chiseled beard. If it really were chiseled, that is. The pillar. It has the face of the butcher woman from the market. What happened here? Psst! Nuri, can you do me a favour? Distract the mage. Hop behind the statue and talk to him. He'll think you're the petrified woman.
Shall I tell him about King Chestnut and the turnip ghosts?
No, just answer his questions.
What questions, and what should I say?
Listen.
How many attackers were there?
11 to 15.
What did the mage look like?
He wore a crocus-coloured brooch on his left breast.
How do you know all that?
I don't know anything, I'm just guessing.
From what direction did the attack come?
It came from the northeast.
And in what direction did they depart?
To the northwest. Can you remember all that?
What was he wearing again?
A crocus-coloured brooch on his left breast.
Then let's go.
Thanks, Nuri. You're a big help.
Oh, what a waste of time. It appears the spirit of these peasants has been extinguished once and for all.
Well, okay, the Interback. Do I have to? That makes it sad.
Ha! I have contact. They came from the north-west and then went where? Brider, what are you? I can't remember all this by myself.
That'll keep them busy for a while. These pillars remind me of Fai's description of the burial chamber. Looks like somebody didn't like it when I rummaged through their stuff yesterday. Hard to believe that Fai managed to load all his belongings on there. It doesn't look like I can push it by hand. A small box with strange symbols on it. Ugh. Whatever's in there, it smells awful. They smell funny. Somehow... Oh, my head. My fex. What is this stuff? They smell funny. Somehow... My fex. Somebody painted a red and a white camel on the lid. Perhaps it's some kind of card game. A key.
That's enough, Brider. We have a statement. Have you thoroughly searched the crime scene?
Yeah, nothing there. If there's anything else, it must be in the tent. I'll just finish writing this up.
Uh-oh. By the time I get up there and the hammock stops swinging, they'll be onto me. If she's really about to search the entire tent, she'll easily find me there. It can't be helped. I have to get out of here.
There's a strange coat of arms on the wall. Or is it just a gaudy patterned rug? If only there were a door here. Come on, close, quickly. Made it.
And don't disturb the crime scene. I'll hear every sound.
That was close. Huh? There's another one here. Apparently the mages haven't even found him yet. Prius be with me. That's the mask from the burial chamber. What else has that merchant fellow been keeping from me? He's got the mask firmly clutched in his hand. I need to use rougher measures if I want to get it loose. What I need is a hammer and chisel. It doesn't look like I can push it by hand. Good riddance. It fits. That's exactly what I need. The kid locked away my creation. I'm flattered.
I told you not to break anything. I have no idea what everyone sees in her.
Got it, and now I'm out of here.
Oh, who do we have here? Brider? There's a new suspect.
Huh?
What have you got there, boy?
This?
That can't be.
Master Bodiak? What is that?
Nothing. Take it from him and give it to me. That is quite obviously a very dangerous artifact. I must immediately take it to the school for study. Question the swineherd in the meantime.
Understood. So who are you? And why are you sneaking around here?
You can't just take the artifact.
Look at me when I'm talking to you. The School of Arcane Combat wants to know what terrible thing has happened around here. I, on the other hand, am surprised at how boring our investigations have been so far. So please don't make this too easy for me or I'll be even more disappointed. First question. What sort of artifact was that?
That was just a piece of sculpture. Worthless. But I'd still like to have it back.
Mm-hmm. And where did you get this sculpture?
It belongs to me.
Oh, really?
Is that all? Can I go now?
I like that you're lying. That makes you more suspicious, and this case is finally getting a bit more interesting. And now for my last question. Who are you anyway?
I'm King Ephedon I.
Now it's getting silly. Fine, that's all. You may go.
Seriously?
I can see from 100 paces that you're harmless. Or do you have another question before you return to your uneventful life?
You're a novice at the wizard school, right?
Right, a combat mage in training. Forever damned to serve the Undergastrian nobility in their mindless squabbling with Nostria.
Why don't you leave if you don't like it?
First I have to make it through my training.
What happened here?
Didn't I already tell you? Last night, 5 Undergastrians got together at the Fat Ham Inn to drive a Talamid merchant from the forest. And they were found like this the next morning.
You didn't say that they met at the inn, or that there were 5 of them.
Well, now you know.
What happened to the Talamid?
We don't know. He probably won't be too far. All his belongings are still here. We suspect he's hiding in the forest.
Your teacher seemed very excited about my artifact.
That's the way he is. He collects rare artifacts, travels around a lot for them. Supposedly, he once even went to the Rastulian Wall to Draconia, but I don't know any more about that.
Are you good at riddles?
What sort of riddles?
How about, as the stone over the scarab, so rules the scarab over the stone?
What's the context?
I can't tell you.
Then I can't solve it. Well, I think that's enough. Get lost so I can keep searching in peace.
I think I've seen enough. Come on, Nuri. I'll take you home.
What should we do now?
Did you hear what the mage said? She mentioned there were 5 people in the mob, but there were only 4 pillars in the clearing. What if the 5th person escaped? There would be a witness.
Or you just let me stay a raven. It isn't all that bad.
Not as long as I can do something about it. I'll ask around in town and try to find out what happened to Faye. You better stay here.
I'm tired anyway. I'll just sleep for a while. Will you wake me if there's any news?
I will. Sweet dreams.